let me know if you can hear me, and good evening. I'm setting up my stream on my new setup, so I don't know how this is gonna go, and my cat's bothering me, so let me know if you can hear me as usual. And welcome to a nice evening of chatting shit. Okay, it seems like it's working. Hi everybody! I didn't stream for like the longest time. It's so nice to finally be back and not be sick and finally be able to talk. Jesus Christ, it's been a really rough couple of weeks, and one of the things that I miss most was honestly just streaming. Kay said, hi, I love your hair color. Thank you! I actually did it myself. When I got bored one day, I went to the drugstore and they have like this silver color, and I didn't think it was gonna work. I didn't think it was gonna look very even, because I have, these are extra, this is not my real hair, and I just put it on and it actually came out pretty good considering I'm not good at things. My roots are starting to show, so I don't know if I'm gonna go back to having a blonde bob or keeping this. I do kind of like this, but I feel like the blonde bob's a little bit more iconic, so I think I'm gonna go back to my old hair and just go back to having a blonde bob. The funny thing is, this hair is actually just like easier than the bob. Like, I feel like when you have blonde hair, your roots grow out and it's a lot more noticeable, but you can't really tell my roots that much, and I'm pretty sure that my roots are hella grown out, but you can't really tell because it's silver. Hi Ash! I'm waiting at the bus stop at 6:43. That sounds horrible. I'm so sorry. It is 10:44 in Japan, so it's like nighttime on a Monday. We're chilling. It's my day off. I'm just having a nice chill time. I will go to Japan next year in summer. What month? Because not gonna lie, I wouldn't come to Japan in summer if I was you. Summer is the worst time to come to Japan. However, it's probably much cheaper. So in that respect, maybe it's good to come to Japan in summer, and probably less crowded too, but the weather is horrific, like so humid. Hi Elisa! The blue is good for winter, I feel like. Oh, for real. Do you still have the blue and pink in your hair? I don't know what to do next. I think I'm gonna go back to my blonde bob, and then I'm gonna add pink and blue. I'm gonna just keep doing my hair myself, because every time I go to a Japanese hair salon, they don't do the thing that I asked them to do. So I think I'm just going to keep doing my hair myself. Okay, June isn't too bad. June is rainy season, and it's famous for hydrangea, which are my favorite flowers, and they're everywhere in Japan. They grow literally from the concrete, and they're beautiful, and I personally think June's a really good time to come. But it's very rainy and extremely humid. But if that isn't a problem for you, then I don't know, I quite like June. It's not too hot, it's just really humid. First time I see you live. Hi! Yeah, I'm doing it a little bit early today. Normally I stream at like 11:30, but we're doing like 10. My cat decided he wants to join, please. I built him a whole cat tower. Go play your cat tower that I built you. To see that, I built that myself. Isn't that amazing? Me, this your average idiot with dyspraxia, managed to build that themselves, and there wasn't instructions. I couldn't find the instruction manual in the box, and then I found out apparently my friend said the instructions are printed on the box, so I'm just like especially stupid. Someone said rainy, then dating time is hard. Oh my god. Yeah, June is rainy season in Japan. But I don't know, if you're coming here to date, I think it might be kind of cute, like sharing a little umbrella. But it's not my favorite season. My favorite seasons are definitely like spring and New Year's. And it's almost New Year's in Japan. New Year's is my favorite time in Japan. I love Japanese New Year's. They have special food. You can go to the shrine at like midnight on January 1st, and you can pray. And they have a whole bunch of like food stalls, and then it's like fukubukuro, like lucky bag season, so you can go to the stores and get lucky bags. I'm so excited. I love Oshogatsu so much. I love Japanese New Year's. I'm so excited for New Year's. It's gonna just a couple of weeks. Hi. So long since last stream. I'm so sorry. I had such bad tonsillitis. I thought I was gonna die. I'll talk about it in a minute. It was really gnarly. It was disgusting. Like, honest to God. Even the doctor I went to was really concerned about my condition. I just get really sick all the time. Alyssa said, I totally faded blonde, but the two blondes are slightly different colors, which is fun. Oh, okay. You know what? If you go to, like, the drugstore, they sell those little packs of, like, pink and blue. And it's, like, temporary color. But if you put it on blonde, that stains. And they're, like, 150 yen. I really recommend just doing it yourself. Honestly, I'm such a fan of doing my own hair now because it's just easier. I hate going to the salon. Honestly, I really hate people touching me. I hate being in the salon for, like, hours. I get really hungry when I'm in there. It's, like, I get overstimulated from all the sounds. I have to have the same conversation with the hairstylist every time. I would just prefer to do my hair myself. It's just like cutting is the only thing that I need to get done in a salon. Uh-oh, my body's here. Sorry, I can't stay longer. Oh, bye-bye. Please join next time. I'm gonna meet my very favorite person there for the first time. For 5 years knowing each other online. That's so sweet. Oh my god, I hope that you guys are, like, in person. Like, I hope it's the same as online. I think that's really cool though. Like, most of my friends I met online, so yeah. Actually, I think like all of my friends I met online. I mean, where else do you meet people these days? Honestly, I have no idea. Is New Year's a good excuse to wear yukata? I would say yukata is too... Like, because yukata is mostly for summer, so they're made of cotton, but it's a good time to wear kimono. In New Year's, I do tend to wear kimono just after New Year's, and like kimono is the one that's like made of silk, so it's a little bit more expensive, but it looks nicer. And yeah, so yukata is definitely summer. You'll freeze if you wear yukata, but kimono is generally a little bit heavier, and honestly, it looks the same. Thanks, you're so sweet. Aw. Yeah, I haven't worn kimono in a really long time. I think the last time I wore kimono was New Year's 2 years ago. And I wore like a tenchi one. I want to wear another tenchi kaiwai kimono. That would be fun. But honestly, again, I hate going to like the rental kimono stores. You go there and every time I go there, the old ladies like sexually harass me. They're always like, wow, dynamite body, and they're like touching me and shit. And then they're like, oh, you're very curvaceous. We need to get extra towels to stuff you in this kimono. And it's just like really fucking degrading. And even though like every time I've been to a kimono place, I always set a reservation for a certain time. And I go there and they're like, oh, we're still busy. So I have to wait like 30 or 40 minutes. Every time I've been to the one, it's just been really inefficient. You had to wait a long time. You're in the kimono and it's uncomfortable. And then you can't eat or drink because like I'm not going to ruin a silk kimono. So the whole experience is wholly unsatisfied for me. Will I do it again? Yes. Do I crave wearing a kimono again? Yes. Is the whole wearing a kimono thing really annoying? Also yes. But that's just me personally. I don't know. I get really overstimulated and I don't really like being touched that much, so it's just like a terrible experience for me. Oh, here's what we said. Not fall asleep midstream challenge. Yeah, I mean, it's like almost 11. Okay, you should fall asleep at like midnight. What are you, like 7? Someone has to help you put it on you. Yeah, like I know the women who put on kimono, they're always like old ladies and they're really, really nice, but they also just like have zero boundaries and they're always touching me, and it just takes a really fucking long time. But anyways, yeah, I'll tell you guys about having fucking tonsillitis. I made a video about this, which I'm gonna post. I made 2 videos in the last week, which I am gonna post very soon. I made the video about me being sick, and then I had a deco video with Yumechi, and we also went to Harajuku and we decorated, we made these straps, and it was really sick actually. Recently I'm just really into making stuff. I'm really into like deco. I decoed Luigi Mangione, which is hilarious, and my friend decoed some K-pop guy, so yeah. Hi, random viewer. I hope your health gets better. Thank you. Sorry about the lady prayers. But same Japan because England is suffering a trend of zombie knife confrontations. Honestly, England's always suffering from something. When I was in England, we had that whole clown thing. Those guys that were dressing up as clowns. And my own hometown is very dangerous. So we had a lot of like knifings, shootings. So in general, yeah, I do prefer Japan. Not gonna lie. my health's always bad, honestly. It's just honestly embarrassing at this point. Okay, so now they're trying to hype you up, but awkward. I think it is in general like that. Like in Japan, people tend to talk about your body a lot. And that's one of the bad things, but it's not a bad thing necessarily. Like, it's for the Japanese people, it's just very normal to talk about like your weight, your height, how long your arms or legs are, your facial features. And I guess for Westerners is a little bit jarring. I've been in Japan for like 10 years, and it's still very jarring for me the way that like sometimes Japanese people will comment on like very specific things about my face. I don't think I'll ever get used to that. That's like the only thing. And also like everyone's like, you gained weight, you lost weight, blah blah blah, and it's not like a bad thing, it's just an observation for them. So that's a little bit something to think about. Yeah, zombie knife, I'm intrigued. Apparently it's basically a sword, like a very large knife, like a machete. You know what's funny? We wanted to be together back then, but stuff happened and now we are friends for life. Also, I stalked his following in his IG. He follows so many girls online, it sucks. Aww. That's why I don't want to be with him anymore back then. And you know what? He follows Yumichi. Ooh. Yeah, honestly, I don't trust any guys that just follow like a whole bunch of women again. I've dated someone like that, and it just like, I don't know, it just wasn't good. Like, I just find it a little bit cringe. Like, you don't see me like thirst liking or thirst following like hundreds and hundreds of men, because that's cringe. So I'm not gonna expect a guy, like if I'm dating a guy, I don't want them to be following like exclusively just like tons and tons and tons and tons of women just to look at them. If it's like obviously their friends, artists, people they think are cool, like fashion icons, that's cool. But if it's just like them liking girls, like any girl, I find that to be a little bit cringe. He follows Chinese IG models. I mean, that's fine. It's kind of like a I don't know, it's a hard like a blurred line between, because you don't want to be like, you know, like Instagram, you should be following people, and you should be following people that you find are cool, you find lives are interesting. But a lot of men just follow like any girl. And that is possibly cringe. It's also hard because it's mostly women on IG, and if he didn't follow women, there wouldn't really be that many people to follow. But then again, like, I think a good look at someone's account, particularly like a guy, is if he also follows like a bunch of like food accounts, nature accounts, hobby accounts, meme accounts and stuff like that. But if it's just like just women, that's kind of like a red flag to me, honestly. Because like I've known guys like that, and it's just never worked out well. Okay, so I'm gonna die if being called tall, but like tall is a good thing. It's modelly. I always get told, oh, you're really short for a foreigner. That stings. Yeah, that's why that's my interest. We're just good friends now. Plus, I don't follow anyone on social media. That's why it's kind of unfair for my morality. I think that, like, it really depends on your personal boundaries. Like, if you care if the person you're with is following like a whole bunch of people, then that's up to you. Like, I think everyone deserves their own personal boundaries. I think a lot of things you have to be reasonable. Like, of course, the person that you're with is going to follow other people, and they're going to follow other women, and that's fine. But also, if you're with someone and they're just liking like tons and tons of girls' pictures for like no reason, just like selfies, bikini pics, shit like that, I think it's like, that's a bit weird. I don't know. Honestly, I've had I don't know. It's like social media and relationships is such a weird, sensitive thing, and it really depends on the person and what makes you feel comfortable. And like, it sucks because like you always feel kind of like neurotic when you're like, oh hi, could you not like porn please, or could you not like reshare porn, or like a bunch of just like only girls bikini pics, because you do feel a little bit neurotic. But if it's important to you, then it's important to you. And like, people don't have to like bikini pics. He doesn't. He follows his friends and IG models. I mean, it's up to you if it makes you feel weird or not. All here's me said, model san mitai every time. I don't get that. They're just like, your boobs big. I guess they expect Northern Europeans to be very tall. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, particularly when I say I'm from England, they're always a little bit disappointed that I'm not like tall and goddess like. But all my friends are really tall, so it's like, pick from them. He said he follows because it's art and he knows it's fake, but he just likes watching beautiful girls. I mean, if he's single, then that's fine. I don't know. I've never really, I don't know. I don't really get that, honestly, because like, it's just hard for me because like, I don't follow a bunch of like men online. And even girls would be like, I'm into this specific K-pop group, and they'll follow stuff surrounding that. They won't just follow like lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of men. I think that men would find it a red flag if like you went on my following list and I was just following like male underwear models. Like, it's that equivalent, right? But I don't know, it's hard. Like, it's a double standard. I don't know. I would just say do whatever makes you feel comfortable. And I think that social media definitely is rotting people's brains, and particularly like OnlyFans. I'm not against online sex work and stuff like that, but it's like OnlyFans is definitely rotting people's minds, because like I get all these men mailing me for like feet pics, underwear pics, blah 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 blah, and it's like, you do know that this isn't OnlyFans. It's just literally just Instagram. And like, I think OnlyFans is like, no, and Twitter specifically has normalized that kind of behavior where men just think that every online creator is like a sex worker. But that's a different topic for maybe a different time. Nightshade Giggle, hi! Bentley fan said, it's not a red flag, that would be relatable to most men, I think. Honestly, I just think everyone's different. Everyone has their own boundaries, I guess, when it comes to relationships and social media. I personally don't know, because like, I make a lot of content, so like, I would have to date someone that's comfortable with me having my face out there, so that's already a big ask. But I've dated people that didn't have Instagram, which was great. I would honestly like to just date someone that didn't really use social media. That would be the best, because then you don't have to worry about it. If that was my situation, I'd just buy merch. My socials is just our friends and family. Yeah, honestly, I use my social media just for like my friends' pictures and like random fashion stuff. Like, I don't know. Honestly, impressive people, confident after posts on OnlyFans. Yeah, honestly, it's pretty sick. I have a lot of like adult content creator friends, and they're very professional and they're really cool. And again, like, these guys that mail me for stuff like this, I'm like, why don't you just find like an actual adult content creator? Starwood said, I guess it's because he's lonely and a salaryman now. We're in our 20s and we never met, so he said he can do anything since I'm not there for him yet. I mean, if he's single, I guess it's fine. You just have to be careful. Like, more than social media, I would just be careful that this man does not have like a porn addiction, which I think like this, him liking loads of girls' pictures online or following loads of girls, I think that could be like an indicator that he has a porn addiction where he can't stop consuming like content of women, which for me, I just think is cringe. Like, I wouldn't want to, and I've done this before, so I would never do this again, like date a guy that's just like follows loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of women for like no reason. If it's like, oh, their fashion's cool, I like their makeup, they make cool memes or something like that, that makes sense. But when it's just like liking girl selfies like en masse, I personally just find that cringe. The internet started changing a lot after 2020, partly OnlyFans and other things changing the landscape. Yeah, honestly, it is a sensitive topic. I know a lot of OnlyFans girlies and they do really, really good. But OnlyFans did really change social media for women. I think OnlyFans is good because it helps women to become their own bosses if they make that kind of content. But it also meant that, like, that content linked on to everywhere else. So I think in general, the internet became more sexual. It's not just OnlyFans. Like, in general, like, the cosplay community, like, all cosplay started to become really, really sexual. And again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just like an observation. Like, I too sometimes pull sexy cosplays. I can't really say it's bad. But I think that, like, the online did become way more, like, sexualized. Could it be they don't want to pay the pro models and they're just fishing for free pics from random women? I don't know why guys do it, honestly. I don't know. Like, because, like, one is cringe. Like, it's like, people can see that you're doing this. Like, I see people thirst liking people's pictures, and it does come across as being a little bit cringe. Like, not gonna lie. I think he might be worse if he has a specific type of lady that he follows. That's also true. If they all follow, like, one kind of women, and there's just, like, 800 of one specific... And if they follow, like, a lot of women that look young, like, really young, that's also irrelevant. But, like, I don't know. I'm becoming a femcel, so what do I know? I'm done with guys. But yeah, I want to tell you guys about me being really, really sick and oh dear God. So I ended up just getting a regular cold, I think, and like a viral infection normally turns into tonsillitis. And it's because, like, at work, my students keep coming in with fevers and visibly sick, and they have a mask on, but it's like we're in a room with, like, barely any ventilation, so, like, obviously I'm gonna get sick. So I keep getting sick. So I got, like, a bad cold, and then I ended up I took a bunch of medicine and I started to feel better, and I thought I was getting better, and then suddenly my tonsils swelled up and I got, like, these disgusting sores on them, like these white sores, which is indicative of tonsillitis. And my tonsils swelled up so much I could barely breathe and I couldn't eat. I didn't eat any solid food for like 4 days. I was just eating yogurt, and it was like painful. I don't know how to explain it. It was like having like gargling broken glass or something. And yeah, so I tried on the Sunday. I was like, okay, I need to go to the doctor. So I started looking for clinics, and obviously it's Sunday, so I couldn't find any in my area, but I found that there was one. And I've been looking in Japanese, and all this stuff I've only ever done in Japanese. But I was like, okay, I can't find one. Maybe it's easier in English. So I searched in English, and I found that there's one in Tokyo Station, and it's called Tokyo. It's like an international clinic. Tokyo Station International Clinic, and it's in English. It's run by women, and it is open every day, which is incredible. So I was like, okay, so I went there. I was in and out, and when I got there, they thought I had corona, and they said that they took my temperature, and they said that they'd never seen a high fever like that in an adult, only in children. Like, my fever was crazy high. So they did a whole bunch of tests for like influenza, corona, and a bunch of other stuff, and it turns out everything was negative. It was just tonsillitis, and they ended up giving me antibiotics, and then they gave me like a map, because once you don't get the medicine there, you have to go to the nearby pharmacy, and the nearby pharmacy was fucking miles away, and they drew me a map, and I had to go find it. And before they give you my medicine, I had to fill out like a survey that's like, where did you find out about our pharmacy? Are you pregnant? Like, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, I'm dying here. And I'm like, oh, fuck, and I had to fill this out. And then I got my medicine. And then after about 3 days, I started to get better. But it was so bad. And the medicine was almost as bad. Like, the cure was almost as bad as the disease. The medicine, it turns out, like amoxicillin, gave me very vivid nightmares. Very fucking lucid, vivid nightmares where I was aware that I was in the dream, which was maybe even more terrifying. So vivid nightmares, and then I just started to feel really sad, and I don't really get that depressed. So I was like, I don't know, I was like, because I knew I was sick, so I tend to get a little bit sad when I'm sick, but then I got like really sad, and I was like, this is weird, why am I so sad about nothing? And then I googled it, and amoxicillin gives you hallucinations, and it makes you fucking depressed. I was like, Jesus Christ. And like, they didn't tell me this when they gave me the medicine, so that was, but once I realized that it was doing it to me, I was kind of like cured, because I'm like, okay, it's just my brain. And then when I took it again and I started to feel sad, I'm like, okay, no, this is just my medicine. And then eventually I ended up getting better, but like, oh my fucking god, I had to miss time off work, I had to buy expensive medicine, I had to Uber Eats food because I couldn't stand up. It was just such a fucking waste of money. Japan Animation said, glad to see you're healthy and streaming again. Yeah, I want to stream way more. I have a controller now, so I want to stream the Yakuza series, or maybe start from 0. Now I'm going to do this over Christmas because I have so much time. So excited. Yikes, have you tried cold bath submersion? I've heard that helps. I'm sure that is intense. I would rather die than do that, I'm sorry. Amoxicillin, that's an odd effect. It was really, really weird. It was like, I had these intense dreams and it was making me really depressed. And I think I was hallucinating while I was awake, but I wasn't sure. I don't know. So it was like, really strong. Hi, Christine. So yeah, that was me being really sick. And I was honestly surprised because I only normally do medical stuff in Japan in Japanese unless it's something very specific. Like if it's, I had to go to a breast clinic and my gynecologist, I do those things in English just because it's like, I don't know any of those words in Japanese. Like I barely know these words in English. So like that thing, I want to make sure I know. If there is a guy like elbow deep inside my vagina, I want to know exactly what he's saying. So yeah, that's the one thing I do. But like now I know it's easier to go to the doctor in English. I'm just gonna do it in English now. I've been doing it in Japanese this whole time. I think I had to take amoxicillin during my least favorite class, so it made me tune out so much. Yeah, it just made me really, really sleepy, really, really dizzy, and just like completely out of it. It was just not good. So yeah, but enough with like depressive talk. Recently, I'm really into like gacha, and there's like these gacha that come in boxes, and I just got this one. It's like an Evangelion one, and it's like a little, it's called Evangelion Room, and it's like a gaming room that's Evangelion themed. I got this one. I got the penguin plushie, which is cute. I got this little refrigerator that says Nerve on it, and I got, I think this is supposed to be Misato's. There is a little beer, and there's a little crushed beer can, and there's like these like chorizo sausages, which are all like wrapped up. I know, this is so sick. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with these gacha. Recently, I'm obsessed with like really small things, like doing oshikatsu, decorating, doing stuff like this. After I finish this stream, I'm gonna edit my new video where I do oshikatsu. I made a video about being sick as well, but the oshikatsu one's more fun, so I'm gonna edit that one first. Oh my god, those boxes are so tempting every time. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. There's like, they're like, a lot of them look like little yokai, and they're so cute. I'm obsessed with these, and now that I have more space on my gaming setup, I just want to get like a little stuff different on my gaming setup. So yeah, I'm so excited now that I have some time off. I think I'm working until the 22nd, and then I have time off, and then I'm just going to stay home, stream, and like game. So I want to stream some wholesome games, but I really do want to stream the Yakuza series. I might try and stream every Yakuza game from 0. We'll see how we go with 0. Like 0 is the best one, so like, yeah. Princess Ban, I missed you so much. Welcome back. Thank you. I'm feeling much, much better. Thank you so much. I honestly thought I was gonna die. It was really, really bad. The worst part is like at that time, and happened the CEO shooter, Luigi Mangione, and I wanted to like tweet and like stream and talk about it so hard, but I was just so sick. So instead, I decorated this card of him. I'm gonna try it. Doshio, I might release this video tomorrow. The Oshikatsu one. I think it's really, really funny that every time I do an Oshikatsu video with Yumichi, she's decoing like some actual K-pop person, and then there's me decoing Luigi Mangione, Hassan, Kiryu Kazuma. I think the next one I'm gonna do, I want to do Bernie Sanders, and I want to do John Oliver. One of my students is really into really cursed gacha. He's tempting me to get into it. Oh my god, gacha is so fun. I'm just, I don't know, really into this right now. I was never really into gacha, mainly because I didn't really have space to put it, but now I have space, so I'm like, okay. I want to get like a little, in Daiso you can buy little display cabinets to display this. So yeah. Nightshade said, yeah, I'm making bead necklaces. Sick. The Luigi card. This Luigi card's sick. I can't wait to show you guys the video. He's got little cat ears, and he's got a little plaster and like pills because it's about the American healthcare system. I can't wait to show you guys. It's so fucking funny. Yeah. So I made this as well in the same video. We went to a shop in Harajuku where you can make these kind of things, and I made this phone charm. I want to also start making stuff like this at home. They do a lot of stuff. They do like, you can deco phone cases, necklaces. I kind of want to do this but as like a necklace. This is just like to hold your phone. I'm obsessed with how I deco my phone now. It's so cool. I got like this little, I got this guy from Koreatown, Shinokubo. He's definitely like a character that is popular, but I don't really know anything about Korean characters. But this guy's cool. I got my Luigi Mangione card. I got some Purikura. I got like these Y2K stickers. Just some Purikura of me and Yumichi. I'm just really obsessed with like decorating stuff now. I don't know why. I think Yumichi really got me into it. Hi Bunny, I discovered you a few weeks ago. I've been binge watched almost all your videos. Yay! I love your calm energy, and of course, you look absolutely stunning. Thank you so much. I think that you're the only person ever to have described me as calm. Thank you very, very much. I have a new video coming probably tomorrow. I have 2 new videos. I'm sorry I didn't post that much recently. My health is always really, really bad, and I did have tonsillitis, but now I'm much, much, much better after a lot of medical intervention. Oh my god. Like, I swear to god, I just get sick all the time. I need to change my job. It's my goal in 2025 to change my job. But my job earns me quite a lot of money and is pretty easy. Like, my visa job. So it's like, I don't really know what to do. Like, I've been looking for other jobs, but they just really don't pay as well. But my problem with my job is that it makes me sick all the time because I'm just around so many people, and these people don't really treat teachers like humans, so they don't care if they're sick, which is a problem. Wait, is that Luigi in the security cam footage? It is! It's the one where he's smiling. I like this one. He looks very handsome here. This is my Oshi. We need to idolize people like this. We need to normalize the killing of... Okay, wait, I need to... I keep forgetting. We're not going to get demonetized today. We should sometimes take the law into our own hands. Mice on the Floor and cinnamon roll phone ring was fun. Oh, cool. That's sick. Maison de Fleur has something I want at the moment. It's like a fluffy handbag, and they have these like fluffy rabbit and bear charms, and they're so cute, and I want them so much. More chaotic than calm. Yeah, I'm very, very freaking chaotic. I think it's just ADHD. What kind of job would you like to change to next year, Bunny? Honestly, don't care. I have like jobs that I find fun that I'm doing now, like designing and doing YouTube and like translation and doing streaming and stuff like that on Instagram. So like my main job, I don't really care as long as it makes me money and I don't hate it. So right now I'm teaching at an Eikaiwa, and it's not bad. It just makes me sick all the time, and it's very hard on my body, and I often finish very late. Like I finish at like 9 p.m. sometimes, so I don't get home till like 10. and it's just not very good for my health. And with somebody who struggles a lot with health related issues, it's just like not good for me to be working there. That's my main problem with like Eikaiwa. Fluff said, I just put in 2 weeks for my job. Yeah, let's be unemployed. 2025 is a year of new beginnings. I'm really gonna try next year. I am disappointed with myself because I was supposed to change that job this year, but I just couldn't find anything. And it's not like I didn't try. I had a whole bunch of interviews, and I just couldn't find anything with like better salary that was worth changing my whole job for. In Japan, I feel like the salary is just not great right now. Like, I wouldn't recommend moving to Japan to work if like you have some career in your current country. And if you're just gonna move here and like take any old job, I wouldn't recommend it. Like, the job market is fucking not good right now. And I really don't want to work for like a Japanese company because then I'll be working like all day, every day. Hi, Nia. Tisa said, it's about your voice. It's really calming for me, even though you have an outgoing personality. Oh, thank you so much. I did get bullied quite a lot growing up about my voice because I have quite a high voice. So I think it makes me really, really happy when people say they like my voice because I do have a little bit of a complex about it. I think that... So my friend is actually, she's having jaw surgery right now, and she's found out her whole life she's been very kind of like lethargic and tired because her jaw was not, like, her jaw is too small and it's kind of it's blocking her airwaves. And because I have a very narrow air tube and my lungs are messed up, I think that's why my voice sounds a little bit weird, and I think that's why I get sick all the time. And maybe it also contributes to ADHD. So I want to look more into that. But I don't know if they can fix my lungs, so I don't know. At least my friend, it's like a jaw thing, so she can get surgery. But I don't think they can like widen my air tubes. So I don't know. I work in an hour, so I'll have time. Yeah, Nia, we love you. Hi. We are just chilling. I told everyone about my tonsillitis, and then I showed everyone my Luigi Mangione decor card that I made with little cat ears, and then I showed everyone my Evangelion gacha I got with the little penguin, and also a little beer, and it has these little sausages. So yeah, that's what I did today. Hey Money, I'm moving to Osaka in August. Any advice? P.S. You have a lovely voice. Thank you. Okay, so I'm actually going to Osaka this Thursday to film a podcast. Honestly, I would search for any particularly like cosmetic, or for example like deodorant. A lot of the shit that you have at home doesn't exist in Japan, so make sure that the things that you love, you get it and you put it in your suitcase. And as for moving, just make sure that you have like a job lined up and you have your apartment lined up. And I can't really give much advice because everyone comes here in their own different way. I would just advise saving up as much money as you can because there's a lot of like hidden fees. But all in all, just like go for it. Just like put yourself out there and just go for it. Like the only thing I can say is just do it, because like that's what I did when I moved. I just did it. There will be times that are hard, and everyone has their own like kind of problems and own things that happen. But if you can, if you find a good community, and there's a lot of good places to meet people like in Japan, like on Facebook, and there's like meetup.com, and there's like Reddit is a good place too. If you can find like a little community or a little bubble, it makes things so much easier. And to like left job and moved to Tokyo, the ADHD made me do it. Oh my god, that's me, honest to god. That was me when like I lost my job in Saitama, and I decided the next day to just move to Shinjuku, and I just did it. That's the thing, like a lot of the time you just have to do the thing. Like you can worry about the logistics later, just do the thing. People sometimes spend too much time planning. Do the thing. If it fucks up, you'll figure it out later. Everything sorts itself out. Osaka is so fun. I don't know what to do in Osaka because I have I'm filming a podcast in the afternoon and then I have like the evening to myself. So I think I might go to I might just film a vlog looking at different shops and then just go eat out and eat like just normal Kansai food and then come home, I guess. I am interested to see what the shopping scene is like in Osaka because every time I've been there it's just been for like partying and drinking. Everyone's talking about jobs while I'm just here unemployed. Honestly, enjoy the time that you are unemployed. When you have a job, that will also suck. Like, I'm not gonna lie. As far as the voice goes, I know this one girl who microdosed testosterone to make her voice more husky. She was not exactly insecure, but said her new voice was a hit with the ladies. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna do that, but I've grown to get used to my voice now. Another thing is like I might get my tonsils removed, and apparently if you get your tonsils removed, your voice also changes. So that's quite interesting. I was planning for February. This is a lot because I'm doing most of the planning myself because my friend never traveled. She didn't even have a passport until October. Jesus Christ. Nia, if you have any questions, please ask us. If you get stuck somewhere and you're like, fuck, I don't know what to do, you can always come crash on my sofa, just letting you know, so don't worry about that. Just, yeah. Once you have your hotel and that, I feel like it's pretty easy. Like, getting around Tokyo. Your moving to Japan advice is the best one. Have you considered just walking around Osaka like you're Goro Majima in 1989? That's the plan. And just going around beating people up. I bet I get in at least one fight in Osaka. I feel like last time I went to Osaka, it was definitely like the vibes are different. It's like it does feel like 10 years in the past. There was like Gyaruo, like men with like blonde Sujimori hair. And there's a lot of like chinpira and like kind of like guys who look a little bit rough. I think I did see a street fight when I was in Osaka. I feel like maybe I should have lived in Osaka this whole time. I did think about this a lot. I feel like maybe this whole time I was a little bit more suited to Kansai than Kanto. But I made a lot of good friends in Tokyo, so I can't complain. Deeper voice. Yeah, I don't think a deeper voice would suit me, honestly. Literally just DM me or I'll give you my number if you need help. Yeah, Leah, same. If you need help, you have resources. We will, if anything happens to you, let me know and I will come find you and save you. Because it do be rough out there sometimes. But like that being said, Tokyo and Japan in general is pretty safe. Like I've never had anything like truly bad happen. So you're probably fine. Mobius said, my unsolicited pro tip is not to move right next to the train unless you're fine with noise. Oh, like for me, I never noticed the train. Like I've lived next to a lot of train lines and I've never ever noticed. But for some people, I guess it can be quite annoying. I would say when you're moving somewhere, check if there's a konbini nearby. Check what konbini it is and make sure there's a konbini at least 5 minutes from your place. That's like the only thing you need. If you have a konbini and Matsuya, that's all you need, literally. I can survive with just a konbini and a Matsuya. I have ADHD and a high voice too. It gets even higher when I'm excited. Same! Maybe it is an ADHD thing. Because a lot of my friends that do have ADHD also have quite higher voices, so maybe it is actually connected. I feel like there needs to be so much more research done into specifically ADHD in women, but they're taking their sweet time, so yeah. When I'm like 50, I know there's going to be all this good research, and I'm going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, and by that time, I will not care. Near Protection Squad on the move. Yeah, Nia's going to be the most protected person in all of Japan. I found a pretty good Airbnb in Ikebukuro. I'm just waiting for my friend's opinion on it and her part of the deposit. I'll be uncle with her soon, though. Yay! Sick. You're totally fine. I don't know a whole bunch about Ikebukuro, but there's a lot of BL there. I know that much. Out of pocket, but Kiru Kazuma Itebag when. You are so right. I need to make an Itebag, like a Yakuza Itebag. I've been thinking about making one for a long time. It's just like getting it to match my aesthetic would be a pain. But I will do it. It just, I'm thinking to buy like a pin badge maker, because buying pin badges is friggin' expensive, particularly like Yakuza goods. There's not that many. So to buy it online would be quite expensive. So I'm going to make my own pin badge, because like these cards, these photo cards that we've been decoing, we print these out in the konbini. So like everything will be like homemade because it's cheaper. It was a wild use of HRT that I never ever thought about. Yeah, honestly, I think that like people should be free to play around with their hormones, and like everyone is a certain mix of feminine and masculine. It doesn't matter about your gender, everyone's a different mix, and it's also like a spectrum. Sometimes it changes, and if you want to be more masculine or if you want to be more feminine, then go for it, honestly. Mobius said, I have a Lawson Family Mart and 7-Eleven within a 2-minute walk. Jesus Christ. My nearest konbini is about 10 minutes, and it is a Lawson, so not great, honestly. I mean, it's not too bad, because I feel like if I lived too close to konbini, I would just be fucking snacking all night. If I had untapped access to famichiki, I just don't think it would be good for me. When I first moved to Japan, I ate so much famichiki that my skin started to look like famichiki. Like, I was getting like greasy and crispy, so like, yeah. I learned that I don't have a lot of self-control when it comes to just famichiki. So glad that Nia gets to go to Japan fairly soon. Yeah, honestly, it's about time. I want to take Nia to do like really dirty Jedi stuff. This girl came, this artist who is Jedi, and she's like, I want to do Jedi stuff. I'm like, okay. So I took her to Apple Hotel in Shinjuku in Kabukicho, and we were drinking Chuhai, and she hated it, and she was like, what is this? I'm like, this is what Jedis do. And then she wanted to go to like a fancy izakaya. I'm like, no, you want to do Jedi stuff. Jedi stuff is drinking in the street and getting belligerently drunk and then crawling back to the station, or just sleeping here. The east side of Ikebukuro is more fun and less sketch. West side is a bit sketchy. Yeah, I did get my wallet stolen in Ikebukuro, so I'm 11. Ikebukuro is where all the Chinese gangs are. They got kicked out of Shinjuku by the Yakuza, and they moved to Ikebukuro. Oki said, missed out on the HRT talk. Yeah, like some people do take hormones just to change their voice or change something about themselves, and I think that's also cool too. 17 minutes to the nearest konbini Family Mart. Okay, that sucks. But like, I think it's kind of similar for me. Mine's not that far, not that close, which is sucky. But again, it means that like I have to just do a little bit more planning. Let's be messy, girls. Yeah, hell yeah. Last time I went drinking in Kabukicho, I made the mistake of drinking soju, which is like the Korean drink. And honest to God, that shit just tastes like juice. And then you just get like ugly drunk. Like I was just like slurring my speech, dribbling. It was just like disgusting. So maybe I'll stick to like Chuhai. Oh my lord, good idea. I'm planning on getting a repeat Ita bag, and I think about buying a pin maker will make it cheaper for me. Honestly, yeah, because these pins are very, very expensive, and it's just like paper and pins. So I think I'm gonna get my own pin badge maker. Now that like me and Yumichi make a lot more deco stuff, I'm gonna look into ways to we can do things cheaper and produce a lot more things ourselves. And she actually started to make money making the uchiwas, the fans, and they're incredible. They have like fluffy cat ears, flowers that will decorate, they have gems. She does such a really cool job, and I think it's great that she somehow managed to monetize something like this, like her hobby, and she's so good at it. I told my friend I might get wasted, so she won't be surprised. I mean, you might as well. We'll make sure that you get home at a relatively okay time. I like soju. Oh my god, I hate most drinks. I did not pick you for a soju kind of person. That's interesting. Soju is strong. I've been told that my sound of voice changed since I started HRT, but it must be a combination of that, being out of the closet, comfy with myself, and voice training. Yeah, for real, it's going to be a mix of all of those things. You do have a very feminine voice, but I think training has a lot to do with it too. But yeah, it's been really, really nice watching your voice kind of like blossom. You do have a very feminine voice though. Mobius said, I lose brain cells drinking yuzu sours. They're so good. I like yuzu sours. Normally, I drink whiskey because I'm an old man at heart. I always drink whiskey cola, and it is delicious. So, my girlfriend introduced me to coffee liquor during a party, and since she is monitoring my alcohol intake, I had to go beg her for tips because it was so good. My favorite drink is like espresso martini, but I have to be careful because like you can fucking OD on like more than the alcohol. It's like you can take too much caffeine. I used to drink like Jägermeister, which is like Red Bull and Jaeger, and I drank so many that the Jaeger didn't really affect me, but I drank so much Red Bull that I didn't sleep for like 3 days and I was just shaking the whole time. So I'm like, yeah, okay, monitor your caffeine intake as well as your alcohol intake, because that can sometimes be even worse. But yeah, what else did I do recently? I've been hanging out in Shinokubo a lot, like the Korean town, just because the shops there, they sell just like so much cute stuff. It's like Harajuku, but cheaper and less people and just genuinely cuter. Like, I don't really hang out in Harajuku for fun that much anymore. When I go to Harajuku, normally is just for work, which is a shame. But generally, it's just far too packed. So, like, it's rammed. And so, yeah, if you do come to Japan, I do recommend going to Shinokubo. Even if you're not into, like, Korean stuff, and you just like Hawaii stuff or, like, good food, there's a ton of good food there. The food is also cheaper in Shinokubo as well. And, yeah, recently I'm really into Korean food a lot, actually. Yes, the Jägermom era of British culture. Maybe that's over now, because, like, yeah, I haven't been in England for, like, 10 years, but, like, I remember, those are fucking brutal. A lot of the shit we drink in England is, like, it will kill you, like, very soon. I remember, like, because in England, we drink from very, very young. I think I started drinking properly when I was, like, 14. And my friend's mom made vodka in her bathtub, and she gave us a bottle of it, and it came without a label, and it was like 50% alcohol or something. It was extreme, and this is like very normal for British culture. So it's wild when I meet like American people, and they're like, yeah, I started drinking when I was 17 or 18 or 19, and that was still like a little bit cheeky. Honestly, wild. I was bored of drinking by the time I was 18. Tsuruhashi is a Korean town of Osaka, by the way. Ooh, I wonder if it's way less crowded. Maybe I'll go there then. Yeah, I need to make a plan for Osaka because I have to go this Thursday. I don't even know, like, I've never really taken Shinkansen by myself. Do I just, like, roll up to the ticket office and buy a ticket? I guess. Luckily, they're reimbursing me for the Shinkansen tickets because there's no way I'd be able to afford that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really think if Japan wanted to increase the birth rate and promote business in smaller towns, they would make Shinkansen way cheaper, like by half price, because then people would travel out more people would meet more people, and people would be more inclined to move to the countryside because it's just it's too expensive. And like, I think the ticket to Osaka just one way is like 18,000 yen. It's like ridiculous, which is wild because like in Europe you can go from England to France to Belgium to like whole other countries for way cheaper. And between Tokyo and Osaka, it's not even that far. I haven't started yet. Alcohol is icky and it burns. Yeah, honestly, if you don't want to drink, just don't drink. I don't really drink anymore because it just makes me feel sick and sleepy. There's this guy who always brings homemade alcohol to parties, and that shit smelled radioactive, and I'm wondering is it by him. Okay, that guy's, like, that's dangerous, because you really need to be careful, because it could be, like, you don't know what percentage this alcohol is. When I was at university, it was always fun watching the Americans during Freshers Week. Oh my god. Americans generally seem like they can't handle their alcohol, and, like, a lot of them just, like, they can't pace themselves, they don't really know. Like, that's the thing that's good for Europeans, because we start earlier. We fucked up long ago when we were younger, so like we generally know how to pace ourselves. We know what not to do. Whereas Americans, it's still like very fun and novel to them. Use the machine. It's faster. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll try to use the ticket machine. I've never bought Shinkansen tickets by myself. Like, normally I've bought them online, so this is my first time, so like I don't know, I hope it works out. England has some pros and cons in it. Honestly, I miss a lot of things about England. I miss the people. British people are hilarious, mostly because we're like, if we didn't laugh we'd cry, but I do really miss just like banter. And generally, like, going into a shop and just having a little bit of a chat with the shopkeeper, and just like, I don't know, just everyone's a little bit more friendly. That being said, there are very friendly people in Japan too. It's just like the vibe's a little bit different. British sense of humor is really, really good, obviously. That's like the only thing we have going for us. But I do like Japanese sense of humor too. People say that Japanese people aren't sarcastic, but I think the Japanese people are very sarcastic. I don't know about his liver's condition, but at least he is not a dangerous drunk. He just keeps talking about his ferret. That's adorable. Oh my god. I remember when I first moved to Japan and I was in a share house. I made a video about this, but they asked me to have a party, and we didn't have any money, so I went to Daiso and I bought like a bucket, and I filled it with different kinds of juice and like different spirits, like whiskey, vodka, Malibu, and we just mixed it, and I think it's called jungle juice. It has a different word in most countries, but I think in England we call it jungle juice. So I made jungle juice, and then all the Japanese people in my share house just got like wanking, like absolutely paralytic, could not stand up. One guy shit himself. It was amazing. They was like, this is the best party we've ever had. Japan Animation said, do you not have many British friends in Japan? I do. I have a few, but there aren't that many British people, like compared to American people. I found out that I get on very well with American people, and it did take a while. Like, not gonna lie, when I first moved to Japan, I found more, because you know, like, people have like culture shock with Japanese people. But Japanese people, I think, are very similar to British people. They're quite passive aggressive, and they're like I don't want to say like two-faced, but a little bit two-faced. So, but that's fine, because like British people are like that too. But when I started hanging out with American people, they were very direct, and I took it as being quite rude. So for me, more than Japanese people, like me having a culture shock from Japanese people, my culture shock comes from Americans. But then after a few years of having American friends, I really did start to appreciate their directness. And now most of my friends are American. I do have British friends though, like one of my very good friends is British, and the woman I work with tomorrow, love her, she's also British. Oh, there's a cinnamon roll cafe in Namba. No way. Okay, sick. Okay, maybe I'll go there. You know everything. I love it. Yeah, jungle juice. One guy shit himself. It was amazing. Honestly, is it really a party if someone doesn't shit themselves? You just have to make sure that it's not you, and then you're golden. Yeah. But usually a good party, at least one person shits himself. And I remember that they had to call like the emergency cleaner to come and clean it up, and I felt really, really bad. But they pay these companies like a lot of money. Anyways, the emergency cleaner came and cleaned it up, and I got blamed for it. because I made the jungle juice. I was like, I didn't tell him to drink the jungle juice, and I also didn't shit on the floor. That was him. So don't blame me. I didn't shit on the floor. I can handle my jungle juice. Someone not being direct gave me trust issues. Oh, yeah, that's another thing, is I do appreciate American people sometimes, because if they like you, it's obvious they like you, and if they don't like you, it's obvious they don't like you. But for like British people or Japanese people, like, I've worked with people in Japan for like 6 years, and I have no idea if they like me or if they hate me, because like they're so, I don't want to say like two-faced, but they don't show their true face. And that's so friggin' British. That's why I always said, like, if you are British, you probably won't have as much trouble with culture shock with Japanese people. Because I meet a lot of American people who are like, oh, I can't make friends here. Everyone, like, no one says what they mean. And, like, someone will say, oh, yeah, let's meet up soon. And then they won't want to meet up. I'm like, yeah. For me, that's, like, normal. Like, to be like, oh yeah, let's hang out soon or whatever, but like not entirely meaning it. It's not that they don't mean it, it's just like, it's more of just kind of like an obligatory nicety. But American people really take this to heart, and they'll be like, oh, I really thought that we were friends and we were going to hang out soon, because they said we were going to hang out soon, but then they didn't want to hang out at all. And I'm like, yeah. I always fall asleep first into parties because drinking makes me so sleepy and so clingy, but I still have fun. Yeah, recently in my old age, I find that drinking just makes me really sleepy. And I think that when you start drinking, you should only drink if you're already in kind of like a good mood. I wouldn't start drinking if you feel a little bit sad, because it does sometimes elevate your mood. And if your mood's already sad, you're gonna just get sadder. I remember you saying something about that party in one of your storytime videos. Yeah, it was a good party. I've only been to a few house parties in Japan, and they have been wild. I think I told you guys about one I went to where they invited me to this house party, and after we went clubbing, and then like the people started to like take off their clothes and have sex like in front of me. I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, this is normal in Japan. It's just like a normal like orgy party. Just like join in. I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't want to do this. And they're like, you'll never survive in Japan if you can't even have sex in front of people. And it was like so normal for them. And I think they weren't even like manipulating me. I think they genuinely believed that it was just really, really normal. And I was like, I am leaving. I think that, like, as a foreigner, you tend to just encounter these weird things a little bit more frequently. Never at home, never alone. That's really good advice. Yeah. Mummy said that happened with someone I knew last month, so I had to move on from that friendship. She was shocked when I was direct about ending it. Aw, that's a shame. I can't wait to try partying in Japan, but like without the orgy part. Yeah, without the orgy part is good. There are like some fun club events. There are some club events I want to go to, because you know, like in my videos, you've probably seen her, but her name's Emmy, and she does like VJing, like she makes like visual arts and stuff. She goes to a lot of these like cyber club events, and they look really cool. So I want to go to some 2025. I want to go to some cyber club events. There's like Anisong events and stuff like that. I want to go to like more niche stuff. But yeah, if you're here in like for a language school, you'll probably make some friends and go to like some house parties and stuff like that. But again, Japanese house parties normally a little bit weird, because like people don't generally go to each other's houses in that much in Japan, because people's houses are quite small. So the kind of people that invite you to their house are sometimes a little bit weird. That's all I'll say. Just be careful. Oki said, what do they read? I think they're just like, I don't know. I'm for it. I think that, it, you know, they're very free and very open, and I love that for them. Just couldn't be me. You ruined their understanding of Essex girl lore. I love it. it's so funny too because I keep meeting American people and they're like, your accent doesn't sound like oh, Ozio-san, arigato! I'm so sorry, I didn't see the notification. It looks so cute. Thank you! I'm very cold, so I'm wearing this sweater. Welcome, welcome. I'll rehash everything that we just talked about with you. So I keep meeting American people and they're like, wow, your accent doesn't sound like all the British accents, like my image of a British accent. And it's so fucking funny because they think of like Downton Abbey or they think of like Hugh Grant. And then they meet me and I'm from Essex and they're like, okay, your accent doesn't sound like their image. And I think that's fucking hilarious. American people mix like Victorian English, Cockney English, Roadman English, Victorian Orphan English. It's so funny. I love Emmy. Yeah, Emmy's amazing. I really want to go to one of her events. I think she's gone back to France over Christmas. So unfortunately, because I was going to invite her to my house on Christmas Day, but she's busy. There's email night. I don't know if it's good. My friend went on time. Yeah, I've been meaning to go to the email night for a while. I want to do like more niche stuff like that. People don't go to people's houses much in Japan because, well, you know, orgies. I mean, honestly, I think that there aren't that many orgies in Japan. However, my friend also did accidentally go to an orgy party, so I feel like it's more frequent than you would assume. So just be careful if someone invites you to their house. There might be an orgy. That's all I'll say. And you can partake. I don't know. I won't judge you. But even parties, like clubs and stuff, watch me drink in a corner of Kabukicho. Yeah, for real. Like, it's a bit too cold now, but when it warms up a bit, I don't mind just getting too high and like sitting in Kabukicho and just drinking and watching people. You know, that's one good thing about Japan is that you can't drink in the street, which is a little controversial, but like it's totally fine. So like, I believe in England you're not allowed to drink in public. So, I mean, people still do it, but like in Japan it's fine. I think they're cracking down a little bit on Kabukicho because of the Toyoko kids and like the prostitution rings, but I think they blocked off a lot of the areas, which is a shame because it's like not the area that's making the prostitution, it's the economy. Like maybe just fix the economy and then there wouldn't be so much prostitution. I've never had time to watch live streams, but your live streams make me so happy and so comfortable. Oh, Nia, that makes me so happy. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Or even someone like Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins. Oh my god, you're so true. People's image of British English is often so outdated. And honestly, because I've been in Japan for 10 years, I don't even know how modern day British people sound. They definitely have like a whole bunch of slang that I have no idea about. Oh wait, I'm accent deaf. I can't tell them apart that well. Oh, that's really cute. I wonder if I have an accent to you. You definitely have like an American accent. Like I could hear from you. I really like all British accent impressions are the same British. I love that though. I mean, the famous one is bottle of water. That's all you need to know. You just need to know bottle of water. Austin Powers! Yeah, okay, that's a blast for the past. Emmy indirectly nudged me down the rabbit hole that is electronic stuff in Akiba. Oh my god, I love that so much. Yeah, we did go, we had a subculture meet and we walked around Akiba, and of course Emmy knew so much stuff and she took us to like these really sick electronic stores and like all these like retro game stores, which was really, really fun. I wouldn't mind getting like some retro games, maybe like a SNES or something. Isa said, no, Jane, don't go to anyone's house ever. No, I'm not saying don't go to anyone's house ever. Just like, if you go there, there might be an orgy. But I just feel like it's just my dumb luck. And I've been here for 10 years, and that's only happened like once, maybe twice. But I think particularly after the pandemic, people even have like house parties even less now. I feel like people used to even do it a little bit more. But around New Year's, people do have little gatherings in their house. Again, I wouldn't say party because people's houses are small. So it's not going to be like a party. Like at most you can fit like 5 people. Which is a pretty sad orgy, honestly, if you ask me. I walk up Omotesando to Harajuku often, and I'm surprised there isn't more of a street drinking culture up that way. Honestly, you're so right. I feel like Harajuku does need a club or something. I feel like there could be way more nightlife in Omotesando and Harajuku. I feel like there are clubs in Omotesando, but they're just very low key. Honestly, they're missing out on so much. Because all the clubs are in like Shibuya, and they're quite condensed. So yeah, I feel like they could do so much more with Harajuku. I'm really disappointed with how Harajuku has gone. It's all just like tourism, and like everything's really, really crowded. It's just like one street, and yeah, they could definitely add some like really fun nightlife or something to it. Ozzy Olsen said, if I went back to Australia, then I'd be so confused. Haven't been there in 5 years. I have no idea how people sound. Yeah, people definitely have like different slang and talk differently now. Oki said, I feel 100% unaware of my accent until the moment I start speaking English. You have a little bit of an accent, but I think your accent's really cute. SNES, good old America original. Yeah, I really miss like Game Boy Advance. I feel like that was the peak. But you know, I really like my Pixel games. I try to speak properly, but when I get excited, I speak faster and my accent comes back. That's really, really cute. Honestly, cherish your accent. I don't think that having an accent is a bad thing. And my British accent, my Essex accent, did slowly start to slip away. And I had to like binge watch TV to try and get it back. Your accent is so important to your identity, so please don't try and erase it. Oh yeah, I found uncooked mochi in an Asian store. It was samurai one. Oh, that's amazing. I really like they fry mochi and you put it in like nori, and then like the crunchy seaweed, and then you add a little bit of soy sauce, or like soy sauce and honey. Delicious. A nightlife in Harajuku sounds so cool. Yeah, honestly, because like once it reaches like 8 p.m, Harajuku is kind of closed and everyone goes home. If they had like a couple of clubs in Omotesando, I think it could really be like popping. Like I think there's really a market there for like fashionable people clubs. That would be cool. Because they always have like these parties and they're always really shit. It's always like in like a shop and they just have like a DJ. I feel like if they had like an actual like oshare place that like fashion people could go and club, that would do really, really well. 5 people is a sad orgy. Capsule money. Yeah, honestly, at that point, is it even an orgy? That's what I mean. Japanese houses aren't big enough to hold orgies in general. I don't know why. The orgy at this place I went to was like quite a small apartment. I was like, this is brave of them. Again, it wasn't that many people. I think it was literally like 6 people for this orgy. A friend said that just pre-pandemic, it felt like Harajuku was going to grow a big bar club scene, but then the lockdowns killed it. That's really sad. The pandemic messed up a lot of things. And Japan and most countries use the pandemic a lot as an excuse for things. And they use a lot of it for like cutting down on drinking and like street behavior. The worst part was just like because of the pandemic or like in general, they've completely got rid of Halloween in Shibuya, and people used to come to Japan for that, and it was like hell, but it was also like just people having fun, and I used to enjoy watching the videos the next day of like people's cosplays. And I think it's just really, really sad. Like they do tend to like kill any kind of like fun and like stuff like that, like these club events and like, you know, Shibuya Halloween, it might not seem like a big deal, and it might seem very like vapid, but these are the exact things that Japan needs to like stimulate the birth rate, because if anyone's getting pregnant, it's on Shibuya Halloween. In my country, we hate drunk British teenage boys. Honestly, British people are the worst tourists. Although almost every person here is alcoholic by default. Oh my god, they're so rude and can't take your beers. They vomit right in front of your pub. Yep, British tourists are the worst. It's embarrassing being in Europe as a British person, because British tourists are so bad. Mostly men. Women are as bad, actually. I don't know why we're like this, but it's very embarrassing. Rolling Rucksack, have so many chat. Hi! We've had a very, very fun chat so far. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry to say, speaking of orgies so much, we already demonetized. You can say whatever you want about CEOs now. Yeah, we're probably demonetized. I just think that, like, Luigi Mangione is an icon and deserves to be protected as a baby girl. I think there should be a vote, and if enough people say that we should release him, we should just release him. Like, honest to God, like, what is one little CEO anyways? If anything, we should be doing more of that kind of thing. So yeah. Me trying to not get demonetized by instigating a terrorism. Mayor of Shibuya wants to turn Shibuya into a high-end shopping district. Yep, that's so true. They're just making everything like really modern, really brutalist looking, and they really just suck the fucking fun out of everything. One good thing about Shibuya is they did build Miyashita Park, and it has like a skate park, and it has like a food court, and it has like a roof garden with grass where you can sit on the grass and you can eat, and that's something that you never really see in Japan. Like, people don't like sitting on grass, so it's nice that they're kind of slowly introducing this culture, because this is what I think that Japan and Tokyo in general needs more of, like third spaces, like somewhere you can go where you don't spend money and you can just drink or eat or be with your friends, because everything in Japan costs money. I was out earlier with a friend, and we were like, okay, we've eaten, we've drunk, we just wanted to sit down and like chill outside, but there wasn't any seating areas. There needs to be like more little courtyards, seating areas, places outside where people can gather, and then that way people can be more social, because there's not really any way for people to meet people or like socialize outside of like work, school, and stuff like that. So like third spaces, very important. What is one little CEO anyways? Honestly, for real though, like, no one knew this guy before this happened anyways. Nothing of value was lost. Yeah, I don't see what the big deal is about it. Why did they put such... His picture, like Luigi's picture, was everywhere trying to find him. People get shot every day, and that level of investigation isn't awarded to finding their killers. I just think it's really, really unfair. It just shows that if you have money, people only really care about you if you have money, unfortunately. If I got shot by someone, no one would probably care, and there wouldn't be like a nationwide investigation. Capsule Bunny, I'm planning on making a real Sangata aesthetic TikTok account only, talking about my oshi. Should I, or is there something I should get warned about first? Nia, honestly, do whatever you want. I think it's shame that in the like Western con, people are so worried about like saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing and like ticking off people in the fashion community. But honestly, it should not matter. Just do what you want, post what you want, post the content you want, and like over time, the thing that you start posting, that's not what you end up posting in the end. Like, the thing that you start your account with is normally after a few months you'll change organically anyways. So just start posting what you want. I wouldn't worry too much about like the aesthetic or keeping the feed one way. I would just post the things that you like posting and just seeing where it goes, and then you'll develop your own natural rhythm. I mean, he's a rich boy, but it seems like as soon as he was off his parents' insurance, he started to figure things out and went full vigilante. Yeah, honestly. But like, as a rich person, I don't think that we should discount his opinions. I think it's very, very noble when like rich people are the ones to stand up and say, okay, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Like, I don't know. For example, if you look at like Buddha, he was originally a very like a rich fat little boy who realized that the people who were living in the underclasses were being treated unfairly. So I think like we shouldn't discount people's opinions just because they're from wealthier backgrounds. At this point, honestly, any help we can get, honestly, Jesus Christ. The left, is in such a bad position because we have basically no really cool figureheads apart from like Hassan. So it's nice to finally get this guy. And I don't want, the problem with the left as well is like every time we have a figurehead, people will be like, oh, but they did this or they didn't do that, or like they didn't support this, or they bought a Starbucks, so they did this or they did that, and they'll tear them apart. So that's why in the end we end up with nothing. Okay, that's if he's the actual shooter. I've been reading a lot about conspiracy theories about this. Honestly, no idea. Couldn't tell you. I should probably look a little bit more into it. Japan needs more grass to touch. You are so correct. And like Japanese people love hanami. So you think that make just more patches of grass where people could sit. That's one thing I really miss about England. On your lunch break or whatever, you would just go to like a park and lay on the grass and eat your sandwich. And you can't really do that in Japan because there isn't really any grass. Partially because the seasons are quite extreme and the air is both very humid and also very dry. So I think it's quite hard to grow grass. But in like Miyashita Park, they have this fake grass and it's pretty sick. So honestly, just put fake grass even. Anything where I can just lay down. There'll be a worldwide revolution or by the cheese cult if that happened, Bunny. That would be sick. There does need to be a revolution. The revolution is coming. Wait, where's my gun? The revolution is coming. I've been saying this for a while. The revolution is coming. People are getting very, very sick of the fucking economy. Everything, I'll say this, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Everything comes down to the economy and like people's standard of living. And the healthcare is obviously tied to that as well. Luckily, we don't have to deal with this as much in Japan. That being said, healthcare is still quite expensive in Japan. But like everything comes down to people's standard of living. Like the top 1% just get richer, and then I've noticed like everyone's standard of living is declining. If you're not in the top 1%, it feels like almost everyone, our standard of living is declining. Things are becoming harder. Groceries are so much more expensive. And like, as I know this is very frivolous and very vapid, but as someone who's been into Japanese fashion and has been in Japan for 10 years, I can't afford to buy Japanese clothes anymore from brands because like the cost of everything is so expensive. And it's the same for almost everyone I know. Like, we're unable to buy things. Like, in general, people are just unable to fucking buy things anymore. The cost of living goes up. Our salaries don't change. Rent goes up. Electricity has been going up. Flight tickets. I can't even leave Japan if I wanted to. Flights are exorbitant. It used to be if I wanted to go to Korea, I could go there for 20,000 yen or like 16,000 yen there and back. Now, if you want to go to Korea, it will cost you about 60,000 yen for tickets. Like, just everything is harder. Everything's more expensive. Sarah said the quality of clothes is declining so much too. Fabric's getting so thin. That's another thing. It's like, this is why, again, I don't really buy Japanese fashion as much anymore. It's way too expensive. Can't afford it. And then when I do buy it, the fabric's fucking super thin. The moment you wash it or put it away, it just crinkles and disintegrates. I've bought so many things that just literally just fucking disintegrated. That's why I barely buy anything new anymore, honestly. Most of the stuff that you see me buy that's new is like something that got sent to me because I cannot afford to buy like new Japanese fashion. Like all the things I buy are like from fucking Uyghur or something because it's too expensive. Like Anchorage selling t-shirts for 18,000 yen. Are you fucking kidding me? That's insane. There is no way. I'm soft boycotting Anchorage. I do like a lot of their designs, but their prices are honestly just ridiculous, and I'm sorry, but the quality also isn't great, so I just can't support it. We had a revolution in Chile. It was only stopped due to COVID. Oh, that's sad that it got stopped. That's another thing. It's like this is what CEOs, the top 1%, Elon Musk, all these people, this is what they're betting on. We are so busy just trying to fucking survive, and that's why there isn't a revolution. Because people is like, oh, why hasn't this happened sooner? Like, blah, blah, blah. Why is there no revolution? It's because people have to work. everyone I know has like 3 or 4 jobs. Like I have like 5 jobs. Everyone's just trying to survive. When you're so tired and fatigued and beaten down from everyday life and just trying to survive, there's no way you can have a revolution. Like, revolutions take planning. It takes time. No one has enough time off to be able to plan a revolution, and that's part of it. That's why the 1% keeps us constantly fighting for survival, because then we're not able to take the time and effort to make things better. It's a just fucking endless cycle. Okay guys, we go to work. Children are coming. Yeah, have a nice day at work. True example, people in PRC were pretty happy until a single party from 1995 until 2015 age because the economy was doing so well and their lives were improving. It is absolutely horrible that someone got murdered, but it did highlight that the healthcare system in the USA is broken. Honestly, at this point, every time I fucking open my phone, I have to see yet another Palestinian child lay dead in rubble. So I don't care if a CEO has been murdered. Honestly, we have to witness so much death every single day that, like, I've become so desensitized to killing that, like, honestly, I didn't feel any empathy for that CEO that got killed. Like, honestly, he made his choice. He made his money incredibly unethically, and that's what happens. That's what fucking happens. Like, if you do things so unethically to the point where, like, because of that guy, a lot of people died. Like, the United Healthcare, they're probably one of the worst companies that have the most denied claims for people. Like, people who need insulin, people who need cancer treatments, they were denied. And this guy went ahead and kept the work culture. He decided this was okay. He kept pushing it, kept promoting it, kept the company the way it was. And because of him, a lot of people have died in agony, probably because they didn't get the medicine that they wanted. So, quite frankly, I don't think it's horrible that he died. Honestly, at this point, I feel like more people should be evacuated from this earth in a similar manner, because at this point it's like, I don't know, like, this man clearly doesn't have any empathy for his fellow man. So, like, I don't know what to tell you at that point. If he was just an employee at that company, but, like, he had the chance to make real changes in the company and he just didn't. Instead, he just, like, got rich off the fact that lots of people didn't have access to medicine, and it's just disgusting. But I'm not advocating for murder. Yeah, like, the power's in the hands of the people with all the money, and the rest of us are just trying to get by under the system. Yeah, that's the problem, is that everyone's so tired and fatigued. We don't have time. We don't have time to, like, fight for more rights, even. You know, like, and that's the thing, is, like, with politics. People don't have time, because we're always at work. We don't have time to really in-depth look at all our political options and the political parties and, like, our local representatives. And then that's why, again, in America, when the Republicans won, it's because people don't really have fucking time to really look at what's going on, unfortunately. And that's and, like, the Republicans capitalize on this by made very simple, easy sound bites for, like, people who don't have time and don't really know that much about politics. They could just hear this and be like, oh, that sounds good, I want cheaper groceries. And even though it's all just bullshit and lies, it's, like, easy to spoon feed people. So yeah, I don't know, a lot going on right now. I love that we always end up talking about politics. Like, I'm very aware that insurance in the USA is a horrible scam. When I lived there, it's just I avoided getting insurance and invested that money instead. Yeah, that's good, but, like, again, like, investment is a very big gamble. A lot of people do not have the financial literacy to invest. And, of course, if you had got sick and you didn't have healthcare, then, like, what would have happened, honestly? The only way to make a revolution possible is to get to the point where we can support our communities with food, water, and heat before the revolution. Honestly, that's why I've been trying to like get involved more in my local community and doing things like the homeless patrol, and just like the cat shelter that I donate to, just stuff like that. Like, I think that at this point all we can do is like invest in our local communities and make these kind of like pockets where we can just thrive. Because I don't know what else to do, because like as a single plebeian there's not much I can do to like sway the upper echelons, but what I can do is make the area around me better. That's all I can do. I have to go. I'm focusing on a cosplay prop I'm handmaking. Oh, okay, maybe you can post pictures in the Discord later. I forgot to mention, you guys, but if you haven't yet, please join the Discord. I'm very, oh my god, my mom went through proton therapy when it was in the trial stage, and it worked for her, but they were denying people claims to use it. Evil. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, a lot of it is like, we do have the medicine and the resources to help people, but they're denying people just because it makes them more money, and that's just fucking disgusting. And that's the problem, is like, we have the resources. Like, there's no reason, like, there's no such thing as world hunger. Like, we could easily feed everyone. It's just that, like, it's poor fucking allocation of resources, and it's just the people in the upper government and the upper echelons that we have entrusted to sort these things out for us just fucking don't. Like, the whole point of the government is that they were supposed to figure these things out, and they just don't. They just, like, all they do is embezzle money and just fucking be corrupt. Neither party in the US are improving things, so what are people meant to do? Non-peaceful protesters ignored. Things like this will happen if you give people no choice or power. Exactly that. Like, honestly, it's like, in America, I'm so tired of talking about American politics. It's like, the Republicans, fucking terrible, awful, but even the Democrats are fucking not that much better. They just pretend to be. So it's like, there is no option. Like, there isn't in America is an oligarchy. There is no such thing as actual democracy. Like, and there's nothing people can do, because like, people will say, oh well, if you want to change things, then vote. And it's like, okay, but there's no good options. The only thing that you can do is, like, again, look at your local representatives and go from there. But even then, it's not even like a democracy where your one vote cast gives you like one power. It's, again, they have the electoral college, the Senate, and everything else like that. So it's like, even like, democracy doesn't really fucking exist. And again, like, peaceful protests are more often than not ignored. So I know there's nothing for like the average human to do. Politics is all about keeping people distracted and busy. Left wing, right wing, same bird. And I hate the fact that people who vote third party get hated on. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, again, because I think it's really, really funny that the CEO killing, all that did was show that the left and right were very united on this front. And it was really funny because Ben Shapiro made a video and he was like, the left are celebrating a murderer. And a lot of the comments were right-wing people, and they were like, no, actually, we also fucking hate that guy. Like, we want to be able to, like, just live and be able to get medicine. So it's like, we are being, I think a lot of it is being framed as like this culture war, and it's not a culture war. It should be the class war. The left and the right, we need to fucking join hands and fight the real enemy, and that's the upper 1% that's taking all of our money. They're the ones that are that's the reason that groceries are so high. That's the reason that everyone's having a poor standard of living. For this one thing, I think the left and right should just join forces and guillotines. Everyone's sick of talking about American politics, even Americans. Yeah, for real. I'm just honestly just sick of it. Like, it doesn't get better. It just gets worse and worse. I can't tell where you're from with that accent. I'm from England. I've been living in Japan for 10 years. That's probably why my voice sounds like this. Right, I feel like the more people are educated, the better. I feel like Kamala should have won. She wasn't perfect, but she was better. Yeah, that's the annoying thing. Like, Kamala should have won. Like, I'm not a fan of her. I'm not a fan of the Democrats. But, like, if you look on paper and just her performances in speeches, blah, 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 she should have won. But again, I put a lot of blame on right-wing podcasters. If you look, I think like the political podcasters, the top 10, they're all right-wing apart from like Hassan. So like there's all these right-wing podcasters and they're constantly talking and like feeding people these really fucked up notions. A lot of it is lies. But these podcasters, they can say whatever they want. So, yeah, without being fact-checked. So they can just say what they want all day, all night, and they're influencing the youth. A lot of what they're saying gets made into like TikToks, fan cams, memes. So just like, I personally am gonna blame right-wing podcasters. Top Khan said, oh, for real, I'm in Osaka right now. Oh, sick, I'm visiting Osaka this week. And you're UK? No way. I definitely do have a British accent. We just talked about this earlier. It's just like maybe different from the UK British that you have an image of. Been saying for a long while now. Had a pretty girly pot breakfast. I want to know what a girly pot breakfast is. That sounds amazing. But I agree with everything. Yeah, I think it's just people are really fucking frustrated. And just things don't seem to be getting better. I feel like in the 90s, it seems like things were going pretty well. And then I don't know what happened. I honestly believe that, like, we slid off of, like, the good timeline into, like, the bad timeline. But particularly this last few years, just, like, fucking everything's bad. It's, like, just, like, nothing but, like, war. Everyone's fighting against each other. Every bad political candidate that could be chosen has been chosen, apart from maybe, like, Brazil. Teresa said, did you consider Japanese citizenship? No, I'm gonna get permanent residency, but I would never become a Japanese citizen. I'm British. I was born British, and I am British. So I just think it would be weird for me. Like, I don't have anything against people that choose to become naturalized citizens, but I'm just a British person. How has work culture and wages teaching changed since you first moved to Japan versus now? This is a really good question, and this really relates. When I arrived in Japan 10 years ago and now, the wages are almost exactly the same, if not lower. However, consumption tax has gone up twice or maybe 3 times, and cost of living has gone up, everything. So since I've been in Japan, the standard of living has just like progressively got worse. And it's weird because like my standard of living has gone up mostly because like while I'm here, I'm learning how to make more money and I'm getting different jobs and I'm also like accumulating stuff. But it's not great, and it's getting, like, watching it in real time get progressively worse is scary because, like, in another 10 years' time, will the salaries not have risen? Was everything have got more expensive? So, like, is it just going to get worse? I feel like it's just going to get worse. And, like, people don't understand, but there is a lot of poverty in Japan. It's just, like, it's same as in the UK, is that you don't necessarily see it. 2008 financial crisis fucked up a lot, especially how it was handled after. That's a very good point, actually. Depends where you were in the 90s. Yeah, I mean for like England, America, like Western countries, Japan. Japan was doing great in the 90s. I can only speak from the countries where I'm from or I've lived in. We missed out on President Kurt Cobain in this dark timeline. That would have been wild. Oki said, I had yogurt with actual strawberries, peach, coconut, and granola. Oh my fucking god, I would have done disgusting things to have that as my breakfast. My breakfast today, I did make a toasted prosciutto, avocado, and cheese sandwich with harissa sauce, and it was delicious though. Ozzy Olsen said, same, Japan is home for me now, but I am not Japanese, will never feel it. Yeah, it's weird that some people just feel like I'm an immigrant and I will always be an immigrant. So, and I don't want to change that. I'm very proud of the fact that I'm an immigrant and I don't want to become Japanese. So, like, I just personally wouldn't. But again, I wouldn't mind, like, another person that would become Japanese. But all the people I know that have become naturalized citizens are just really fucking weird people. I don't know. It's just, like, something about naturalized citizens. They're just really fucking weird. I don't know. Maybe that changed my... yes, if you're teaching English in Japan now, it's pretty darn dystopian. Friends of mine who are teaching English either had to pivot onto something else or leave. Yeah, teaching English sucks. Working in a Japanese company also sucks. In general, it kind of sucks. Like, I think the only is, like, maybe if you're, like, into certain areas of IT, maybe that is good. Or, like, you're, like, a crypto bro or something. Also said, when I got here in 2010, 7-Eleven onigiri were around 98 yen. I remember when onigiri used to be like 100 yen. They were not 100 yen anymore. Sarah said, it's such a sad situation too because Japan is getting so cheap for tourists with the weak yen, but for people paid in yen, life is getting harder and harder. Oh my god, that's, and I can see why Japanese people would get really frustrated seeing tourists because they come here and they just go to all the fancy restaurants, they're buying all the brand stuff, they're out all the time partying, and then Japanese people who get paid in yen have to just work, and they can't afford that life. I can see why that's really fucking annoying. Like, honestly, I get it. I see why people fucking hate tourists now. But it's not tourists' fault, it's the Japanese government's fault. Like, raise our fucking salaries, please. Please. Kay said, it's my dream to move to Japan, but teaching and the low wages makes me super hesitant too. Oh, I mean, honestly, you can do it for like a year and see if it works out for you. Or, I know, like, if you're into IT, you can probably get a job in IT. Or you could just come here and, like, as a student for a year and see how that goes. You don't have to, like, come here for life. You could just come here for, like, a year. UK kind of peaked 2000 in terms of economics. Yeah, the 2000s kind of nice. Jesus Christ, a luxury prosciutto with avocado. God. Yeah, it was a really fancy breakfast. I didn't eat anything for like 5 days apart from yogurt, so I was like, I deserve something nice. Alisa said, even IT is getting difficult to get into because everyone is going that way. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, once if, like... Because so many people are like, oh, you should just get a job in IT. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to do that. And, like, again, because that's the attractive thing, that is going to become oversaturated. And it is already becoming oversaturated. So then there'll have to be another field or something. Life said, I saw on Twitter recently how tourists are dropping an English teacher's annual salary on a 2-week trip to Japan. Honestly, I know a lot of tourists that come here and they spend so much fucking money on just bullshit. And I'm like, wow. Like, just like 50,000 yen on like fucking gacha or some shit. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Japanese government, no wages, just spend. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if they want to stimulate the economy, they have to pay us money so that we can stimulate the economy. Like, wages need to fucking go up. Stocksis says, Capsule Buddy, me and my girlfriend love your content. Oh, thank you guys. I love you so much. Thanks for consuming my content. Sorry, it's a bit weird sometimes. Alisa said, teaching English should be thought of as a job, not a career here. Yeah, for real though, it's not really a career. I had a job before where it was kind of like a career, like I was an actual teacher in an actual school. So that was a little bit different. There are English teaching jobs of value here, but they often require like more qualifications or a little bit more experience. And yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the only other option is working in a Japanese company, and I don't want to fucking work in a Japanese company. Jesus Christ. Aoki said, I want to go there for a year. so bad, but low-key scared of work culture. Honestly, work culture is fine if you're a foreigner. Like, it depends what you're doing. And if you can just come here as a student and do like a language school for like a year, and then if you're a student, your visa is super flexible because you can work in like a May cafe, you can work in Matsuya, you can work in a konbini. The problem is with my visa is that I can't really work in anything that's not very specific. James said, what's the work like in the fashion industry in Japan? Fashion industries in any country just really hard to get into, and very fickle and very up and down. Like, a lot of clothes companies open and close, so like it's not very stable. But I like working in the fashion industry, and I'm really happy I get to work with a lot of brands. I love Japanese fashion so much, so I would just make sure that you have a backup. All Here's Me said, makes you wonder why all the tourist money isn't just trickling down into workers' salaries at all. You are so right for saying that. Like, so many, like, we have a lot of Chinese tourists, and they come here and they just buy like Chanel, Dior, and they spend like so much money. And it's like, there is a lot of money being stimulating the economy. It's just not stimulating the fucking economy. I don't know where it's going, but it's not going back to us. Trickle down system has been proved to not work anyways. Also said, IT is getting more difficult to get into as well because AI is making it so executives are sacking people because half the people can do it in 4 times the work. Oh my god, that's another thing. It's like fucking AI, and you have to think about that in the future. Like, is it worth studying a whole bunch of like programming or something if maybe my job's not going to get taken by AI in like 2 years? So like, it's also something you want to think about. Okay said, I want to go there for a year so bad, but low-key scared of... Oh my god, I already read that, sorry. Sarah said, people really do go nuts spending when on vacation in Japan. Oh my god, for real. I love, like, a lot of, like, my friends I know that come here, they just spend so much money on, like, shit. It's just like, why? Why? And buying, like, every fucking Kit Kat flavor or something. It's like, do you really need this? Honestly, overconsumption is a really big problem. Also, Anson said, the work isn't as good, but it's much faster. Life said, I think the best way forward, if you enjoy English teaching, is to get the credentials to teach at an international school. You don't need any credentials to work at an international school. Like, I could work in an international school, and I have 0 credentials. I just don't want to because there aren't any in my area, and honestly, a lot of those jobs are... Some of them are really, really good. You are so totally right. But, like, a lot of them are just, like... These days, even international schools, a lot of it is just, like, ALT salary. But a lot of work. And a lot of those jobs want me to be, like, a fucking homeroom teacher or something. And I don't want to be a homeroom teacher. I went to so many job interviews where it was just, like, teacher. And then I got halfway into the interview and they're like, oh, actually, it's a homeroom teacher. And they lie about that. And I don't want to be a homeroom teacher. I don't want any additional responsibility. Oki said, I don't think I could survive working at a maid cafe. It does seem like a lot of work. Like, I've worked at maid cafes and con cafes as, like, a guest. And it is a lot of work. I wouldn't want to do that every single day. Because you think, oh, I get to wear, like, a cute outfit. But, like, realistically, you're going to get bored of that outfit after, like, a month. Like, just buy a cute maid outfit and take pictures. And then that's it. Maid cafes don't pay a whole lot of money. And it is on your feet work a lot. And it is just serving people. Oh, Here's Me said, well, now that you mentioned it's all going to Chanel and stuff. Yeah, honestly, it's going to Chanel and then going to fucking France. I still think programming stuff is still worth studying. At least, no, your AI isn't bullshitting. Yeah, for real though. Honestly, I would recommend studying programming. Kay said, the overconsumption is crazy. Like, why do you need a million different Kit Kat flavors and no 100 of the same shampoos? Yeah, I see this a lot with, like, influencers. And that's why, like, I'm having a bit of, like, an existential crisis with, like, social media right now in general. Because, like, I'll follow someone and, like, their content is, like, they got popular because, for example, they like cinnamon roll. People like cinnamon roll, so they follow them. So, like, oh, I should post a reel with, like, every cinnamon roll face cream or hand cream or perfume, and so that they just buy loads of stuff to make content or like go to all these cafes, and it's just like a lot of money is being wasted for basically nothing. Alden Austin said, the way forward for English teaching is getting a master's and becoming a university professor. That is the only real well-paid option. I think that's true. There's a lot of well-paid, even just like elementary schools, or like becoming the owner of like a school, or like a manager. And again, like, that's the thing. I don't like it when people are like, oh, well, like, the only thing you should do is this. It's like, I personally don't like teaching. I've taught in university before. Didn't really like it. Don't really want to teach university age level students. So I don't think it should be like, this is the only option. Like, there are a lot of good English teaching jobs of different age levels, different schools, different things. It's just, it's all about luck. And like, I'm not getting a fucking master's in English education. That sounds awful. Makeup influencers. Oh my god, you have so much waste. Teresa said, yeah, working at Maid Cafe would be great if Japan had some tip culture. I think about that so much. Maid would make so much money if there was tip culture, but unfortunately there's not. In Con Cafe, you can get money from like drink back, but then you have to fucking encourage people to drink, and that like morally doesn't, it makes me feel kind of weird, because like I worked at one of those and I felt bad like trying to get people to buy drinks, so like I'm a freaking terrible maid or whatever. Some people give all their stuff away after cleaning and showing it, but not everyone, obviously. It reminds me of Shein hauls. Oh my gosh, Shein emails me at least once a week. They offer me like 10 pairs of shoes. They offer me like dresses. They offer me all this stuff for free, and I just obviously just don't reply because it's Shein. But like, Jesus Christ, if I didn't have morals. Kay said, wait, no, I hate tip culture. Yeah, tip culture is a slippery slope. Like, ideally, they would just pay everyone enough to be able to live. Life said, university teaching isn't really a career because they won't give you the job security you would be hoping for. Yeah, I heard that teaching in university as well, they only pay you for like that semester, so you wouldn't get paid for like Christmas break, for example. Like, yeah, luck is the biggest factor, honestly. I know people with like really good jobs for like no reason, they just fell into it. Alisa said, by the way, my friend works part-time at an American-style steakhouse place and she gets tips. If you can find one, the customers are fun apparently. Oh, that sounds fun. Life said, it's rare for uni English teachers to achieve permanent employee status from what I've heard. That's interesting. I did, at one point, I considered being a university teacher because I have taught in universities before. But I don't know, university English students are just very unmotivated. I don't know, it just wasn't, and like, because I'm like a younger woman, any class with like, I don't want to teach like 20-year-old boys because like it just makes this kind of like weird dynamic for me personally. Unknown said, you are so cute, how's it going? Oh, hi, we're just chatting about work culture in Japan and like salaries. Oki said, yeah, I want to make a maid dress for my PNG YouTuber so bad. Oh, please, and please make like the little headdress. I want to play Releases, a Castlevania with demon maids as protagonists. That's hot. Miley kind of explained Checky is pretty much a tip system. Oh yeah, so taking Polaroids with maids, that is their tip system. Like, my friend works at this Con Cafe, and like, you give the girls, like, you can buy these like balls, like they're just kind of like ball pit balls, and you buy them and you give them as gifts. And that's basically their tip system. So there are tip systems in Japan. They're just not tipping. You have to like buy something. Unknown said, why did you choose the job? The current job I have now, because I have like 5 jobs. But my English teaching job is just, the pay per hour is good. And they let me take off time off whenever I want. They're very flexible, and they let me work just like 3.5 days a week so I can focus on my other jobs. That's the only reason I'm working this particular job. It's just very flexible. Maid dresses are just cute and fun. I felt kind of weird when I'm in a group. I mentioned liking them and they took it as a sexual thing. Black and white with ribbon, adorable. I don't understand why people immediately jump to it being like a sexual thing. There's nothing sexual about like maid outfits, and particularly like the really long ones, but like even the short ones, it looks cute. Like I don't understand why people see a cute thing and they're like, this is a sexual thing. I like cute dresses because they're cute, nothing to do with sex. But yeah, working in Japan, honestly, again, it really depends on the kind of person you are. I have a lot of little jobs, so that's why I personally chose my English teaching job that is something a little bit more flexible. Is your English teaching job sponsoring your visa? Yeah, I got given quite a longer visa this time, so I don't really have to worry about a visa right now, but my visa was sponsored from my English teaching company from before. Which eye can you wink with? My right eye and my left eye. Alisa said, Halloween probably. Halloween sexy maid outfit. Oh my god, that's a good point. Everything always gets fucking sexualized. Yeah, that's a problem, is like, with the West, is like any kind of like Hawaii thing. The West immediately is like, that's a sex thing, or that's a kink thing. It's like, no, it's just cute. Unknown said, you have Insta. Yes, I do. Halloween, professional healthcare job, sexy costume. Life said, I have never been to a maid cafe, but a friend who can't walk down the maid alley in Akiba because the girls all know him. Oh my god. There are definitely like regulars at maid cafes. I think it's fine if the maids all know him though. Like, as long as he's like not being weird or anything, it's good that they know him. When I was working at a con cafe for just a guest work, this guy came in and he had like a folder of every single maid cafe in Akiba, and he had the points card to each one, and he had a techie from each one too. Kay said, what do you think of the Belle Delphine of girls that sexualize younger ages? Honestly, there's worse things. Like, my issue with this topic is whenever it's like something to do with like pedophilia or sexualization, I don't see why it's always made into like women's fault. Like, oh, what about Belle Delphine, blah blah. It's like, okay, but what about the men? Like, it's the men's problem, not hers. Yeah, like, I don't see why it always has to be about like, oh, but like women are doing this and women are doing this. Like, no, in this situation, the women, it's not the women's problem. Belle Delphine is not creating pedophiles. Unknown said, what's your name? My name is Capsule Money, and you can see it. Wait. Here. Aki said, imagine passing by the cafes and waving at them. It would be so uplifting. Yeah. Honestly, I have a lot of friends that work in maid cafes, and they have a good time, and they really, really enjoy it. Like most, if not all, of maid cafe customers, honestly, just really, really nice. Like, they're a little bit weird, I guess, or like, the thing is like, in Japan, people work so hard. A lot of the time, they don't have time to like interact with the opposite sex. So for a lot of men, the only time they can speak to a woman is like, honestly, going to like a maid cafe. So there it is. Isa said she's just supplying for the demand because it makes money. Exactly. She's not the issue here. Like, men are the ones that are spending money on this shit. And it's like, she's not really, like, she's obviously, Belle Delphine's got to be, like, in her late 20s, right? What, is just because she has braces? Because she wears, like, school skirts? Like, what, like, she's obviously an adult. Or here's me said, getting waved at as an invitation to get waved at as a familiar face. VS gang. Ah, okay, I see. Also, Olsen said, that's what got me with the Sophie Rain conversation. She doesn't deserve it. She gets all that money for nothing. Who's giving her the money? Because it's not appearing out of thin air. Yeah, it's like all like these problems that are made, like the problems are created by men, that somehow people end up pinning this on women. And it's like some women found out that they could capitalize or monetize on the fact that a lot of men are gross, and like honestly, power to them, quite frankly. These men are gonna give their money to someone, so it might as well be them. Apparently the teaching scene in Korea is a lot better. I don't think so. I heard it's much, much worse. I've heard that the teaching scene in Korea, and I have friends that worked in Korea as teachers, a lot of bad shit happens. There's a lot of black companies, a lot of like weird business practices, a lot of companies will take your passport. So I honestly, and like during the pandemic, a lot of Korean schools just didn't pay their teachers at all. Whereas opposed to in Japan, a lot of companies at least gave you 30%. So I believe that the teaching system in Japan is better than Korea. But that's just based on what I've heard. Taylor said, most work on the edge is cute themed and not child. But people still infantilize cute things. Yeah, I know. It's like, what is it that makes it her a kid? Like, is it her having pigtails? Is it her having like a school skirt? Like, I don't get it. She's clearly an adult woman. Augie said, if they have a problem and see it as so easy, just transition and do it yourself. Sheesh. Exactly. Life said, Belle Delphine bathwater seems expensive until you realize you were supposed to vape it and not drink it. No comment. I mean, yeah, I guess it would last longer. Teaching in Korea sounds horrible. Yeah, I had a friend who taught in Korea and she had a very bad experience. And I've known a lot of people that, like, it's quite popular where English teachers in Korea will disappear in the night and just leave Korea because the working conditions are so bad. I haven't heard anything that's that bad in Japan. Isa said, my mutual on Twitter got so depressed while working for a black company there. Yeah, the same thing happened to my friend. Benny Fan said, I think there's a whole industry that supplies a demand for a ton of weird things, like incest and race play. Compared to the actual mainstream, Belle Delphine doesn't stand out except being independent. Yeah, honestly, I think there's a much, much worse things on the internet than fucking Belle Delphine. But when women make money, people get mad at them, so there it is. And then said, new subscriber, thank you. Osiason said, modern problems require modern solutions. Yeah, for real. Like, I don't know, I just don't get it. Like, oh, there's a lot of, like, gross content on the internet, and it's like, why not go after the men, or, like, the people, like, the producers, or even, like, the, websites that are allowing that content, instead of, like, the women that are more often than not pushed into making that kind of content. Just Mary said, apparently Belle Delphine made no money on the basketball stunt because PayPal refused to pay out. She talked about it on the podcast with Louis Theroux. That's amazing. She is a killer businesswoman. Honestly, she's amazing. And I hope that, even if she didn't make money then, I hope that she made a lot of money now. I'm not sure if her Instagram is up anymore, but she used to follow me on Instagram, so that's pretty sick. Honestly, the best of luck to her. Quite frankly, people are just trying to make money. And I said, you seem like an anime character. If I was an anime character, I would be Ebichu, the hamster. If you guys haven't seen Ebichu, it's on YouTube. Please watch it. It's amazing. Live said, though I have to give credit to Korea for dealing with the nuisance kick streamer, Japan kind of failed on that one. Oh my god, Johnny Somali, I think that's hilarious, because like Johnny Somali didn't realize, like he came to Japan where everyone is very soft, then he went to Korea and did potentially worse things, but men in Korea, they do like mandatory military training. Like men in Korea are a little bit harder than Japanese men, so Johnny Somani got his shit rocked in Korea. That was so funny. They got him very quickly. I think even in Japan, he did get punched, though. Arda said, because the people that would due to going after also men, particularly gonna patriarchy. Not for real, like, that's the thing. It's like, if we want to have a conversation about this, it would involve holding men accountable, and people don't like doing that, so we're not doing that. Sarah said she pretended that she made money from that stunt so her career would help keep taking off. Smart move. She's so smart, honestly. That is amazing. Like, I have nothing but respect for Belle Delphine. Incredible. Like, they're just so, like, business-minded. I wish that I was good at making money. Unfortunately, I got the fall of the Holy Empire autism and not making money autism. Bunny is iconic like that. Thank you, Oki. You're very iconic too. I wonder if you're ever gonna make content in the future and like become like a streamer, or like, I know you have your VTuber, but I wonder if you're ever gonna do like a YouTube or like Twitch or anything like that. That would be pretty sick. Yeah, oh, it's already getting pretty late. I guess we should log off pretty soon. Let me know if you guys have any more questions about living in Japan. But yeah, like, honestly, economy not great. But for everyone I know, 2024 was a really shitty year. Like, every single person I know. And I know, like, CEOs, I know regular people, I know convenience workers, I know maids, I know people who are sex workers, I know regular people who just have salary jobs, and almost everyone has said that this year has been really fucking shitty. So I really hope 2025 is gonna be great. Oh, thank you, Anon. I have some water right here, and I even feel my lips get really dry. Nightlife, thank you so much for coming to my stream. But yeah, I'm really hoping that 2025 is going to be really good for everyone. Like, collectively, I hope that we just all have a good year next year, because this year has been trash. Alisa said, truly shitty year. Honestly, everyone. Bethany fan said, is it okay to eat mochayaki every day, or is it one of those unhealthy treats? I wouldn't eat it every day, because it's basically just like pancake, so I don't think it's that good for you. But it does have vegetables. I guess it depends what you put in it. Potentially you could eat it every day. Yeah, thank you guys. I had a really fun stream. This is really good to talk about. Teresa said Korean work culture is scary. Friend of mine. Oh, Jill-san, arigato. Thank you so much. Yay. Yeah, you too. It's getting kind of late. You should be in bed. Here's hoping, Bun. Mine was terrible too. Hope your 2025 is much better. Yeah, honestly, it seems like everyone's year has been bad. Aisa said, oh, except I met all you guys. That was so great. Honestly, the YouTube community is fantastic. This has been honestly the highlight of my year. I love you guys so much. I'm so happy that we have this community. If you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, please join the Discord. We have such a wonderful community. I love you guys so much. That's the only fucking highlight of this year, I swear to God. Okay, so chaotic end of semester aside, I'm doing pretty good. That's good. Let's go into 2025 fucking hopeful. Last question. Anna said, how's the culture around people that have money but no one knows how they got it? People don't really care. People are very private in Japan, and people don't really talk about their salary or how much they earn. So that's something, like, if someone has money, no one really knows why or how they have it. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys coming for my stream. Had a wonderful time. Thank you, Ozzy-san. And yeah, I'm gonna stream real soon now that I'm healthy. Night, guys. Love you. Yay.